Morning, morning. Today is going to be a lot quieter on the video because honestly I just don't have much time before this video needs to go up, so I'd go through it. I'll come back to the XR topics like in depth and in detail tomorrow. I'm finding it's a really nice thread to talk about for my sort of daily video stuff. The studio, by the way, the dev work is going really well. I feel like I'm about to wrap up the level editor properly and hand it over to the team to start making levels for that. So I'm actually really happy with that progress. A lot of the work has actually been the difficulty estimation code to help estimate the difficulty of puzzles. So that's been a lot of work and I'm really glad. And also the co-working space 100% was the right decision. I've been so much more productive this week. It's been really great. Additionally, I've made an effort now to with almost sort of the regularity that I used to stream with, I've made a sort of mission to game with a friend and get on a Discord call every night and just like chat about the day, and that's actually been really helpful. And you know, as I said, this 30-day challenge was to sort of change up some habits and hopefully see it help me be more productive. Indirectly it has, not directly. The direct thing was I needed to get back into a good co-working space and a studio space with other humans who were working professionally on video games. So that's actually really helped, been really productive. It's really a good change. Though the daily video thing is very demanding, as I say. When the 30-day challenge is up, I'll probably not continue it. I might still post at a cadence, but probably, or certainly not daily. Daily is just a bit too much to keep up. But yeah, so that's kind of the update with the game studio and where all that's at and where's life at. The sun is out. The weather's going to shift on Tuesday, I believe, because we're in what the British we call full spring. This is the false spring. I always measure the true start of spring. I'm not going this year because too many reasons to mention, but I'm not going to GDC this year. But I, especially when I was at Sony, because Sony has like an internal conference just before GDC. That was honestly one of my favorite events of the year. Because it was behind closed doors, everyone was like part of the family, and you know, no one was like looking for a job, no one was looking to sign a contract, everyone was there to talk about the games they were working on. And because we were all under, you know, we were all part of the same company and under NDA, we could have really good conversations about the games we were working on, because, you know, we could actually talk about them rather than hint vaguely towards them. So it was always a favourite event of mine. It's honestly one of the main reasons I enjoyed GTC. Now that I'm not at Sony anymore, less of a thing, because you know, yeah, less of a thing. What was I going to say? Oh yes, so GDC is happening, and for me, GDC always, or returning from GDC, always marked the true start of spring, because that's when the cherry blossoms in London start blooming, especially in South London, because we've got a lot of cherry blossoms in London. A lot of people don't know that. And, you know, it's just, I love cherry blossoms, I love spring, and so I'll be skating this weekend, taking advantage of that weather, and just enjoying life, really. There's so many sort of events and everything going on that I'm like, I'm very happy with how things are going at the moment. Stuff's going well. And yeah, I like talking about the VR and the XR stuff, because I feel like most of the people talking in the space aren't, they don't have the background I have. It's like a lot of, well, most of the people talking are gamers or players who don't have the technical background. And then I think a lot of devs have never been on the platform side and are a bit unsympathetic towards the people making the SDKs and making like core technical decisions. And yeah, it's tough, because like I'll actually put up, there was a great sort of tweet from Sadly It's Bradley about like basically not commenting on all the drama and like, you know, just relaxing while Meta sort of self-destructs in a weird way, which I get, I totally get. Like, you know, I deleted my Facebook account long ago, and like, you know, a lot of people don't want to see Meta succeed. I get it. I fully get it. You know, I try to separate out some stuff, just because, you know, is what it is. But so like the news that broke recently was there was a dev, Rishi's Plank Experience, the Toast Interactive guys, who just did like a huge round of layoffs and stuff. Their games just got delisted from Metastore for like store abuse policy. Have no information, don't know if anything information is going to come forward, but it's always hard when like press pile-on happens. Like I remember when Epic was like pressuring us hardcore to do crossplay, and there's a lot of good reasons we didn't want to do crossplay. As I say, some NDA stuff I can't talk about, but like some stuff I can talk about that I believe has been in GDC talks and stuff that is uncontroversial is like our own players, by and large, had a worse experience when PC players were involved, because the PC community can be a bit more toxic in online multiplayer. Incidents of cheating are way higher. Like, there were legitimate reasons. Now, was there also a business incentive? Hell yeah, of course there's a business incentive. And it's, you know, it's not like crossplay is like an inherent right or anything. So, you know, it's one of those tricky situations, because also like a lot of like PlayStation Network is paid for by subscribers, and that means that PlayStation Network can afford to be a bit more expensive per user, can have more moderation, can have more safety tools, can have more sort of customer features that don't have to be subsidized by other means, or can afford to be a bit more premium. And a lot of that doesn't mix with crossplay. And then there were some other technical reasons I know I can't talk about. But then the story in the press and everything painted PlayStation as a complete and utter villain, and we couldn't really say anything. And then there's other situations where, like, YouTube or PlayStation or whatever, or Meta, whatever, gets into a store disagreement. And just because of how the law is, you know, like, if you publish a game on PlayStation, you have like a legal contract with PlayStation, and PlayStation has a legal contract with you, and it's not like a YouTube contract, which is like very much in favor of Google and such, because it's, you know, typically a B2B contract, not a B2C contract, whereas I think a lot of the YouTube contracts feel a lot more B2C, so they're a lot more equal and equivalent because they've been negotiated by, you know, big studios and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a different situation. What are these? Ice balls. I don't think I've had ice balls before. Ooh, interesting. And so, like, for example, if we don't like a developer, right, you can't just like ban their game on the store, or you can't delist them from the store, at least on PlayStation, because there's a lot of like protections, and you could get taken to court, and the last thing you want is to be taken to court as a platform holder, because there is a lot of beneficial historical arrangements that you might not want challenged, and you might just get unlucky in court. And, you know, for the studio, you know, they might be willing to take the risk of their business ending or being significantly affected by a court decision. But if PlayStation, for example, went into a fight, or Xbox or whatever went into a fight with some random developer, and the court ruling decided, oh, now this is the decision or whatever, it could massively affect the stock price, it could massively affect future earnings, it could put a burden of some kind on the company in a huge way. So you're very, very careful in those situations, exceedingly careful. And then, like, you know, usually the case is sort of litigated in the court of public opinion first, and you can't say anything, because if you say anything, it's exposure and stuff. So I'm very keen to see what the Toast and Tractor story is. I'm very keen to see how that rolls out. But I think one of the reasons I enjoy talking on this stuff with the perspective I have is a lot of people don't realize how much the silence of large companies is used to basically paint people in a positive light. Not saying that large companies don't do evil shit. Large companies do evil shit all the time. But there's this imbalance of information that happens sometimes. And I think, as I say, because a lot of the commenters, whether they be on social media and often whether they be journalists and stuff, don't necessarily have the background information. That's not to say, as I say, that corporate actors are positive. Yes, corporate life under capitalism, how we're practically in a cyberpunk future. You know, I am where I am on the political spectrum. Very, very liberal. But yeah, I thought an interesting perspective. And if only because I get to share Bradley's GIF, which I'll share with you again, because it's a good GIF. Anyway, let's get this video uploaded.